if you're with us online, go ahead and start to set up your space, get your equipment ready. We're about to start class here in about a minute, and we'll get going with the warm-up and go over all the movements we got today. See you soon. All right, welcome back to Build. Glad you can make it today for the impromptu Monday build. Later this week, I'll be at a conference, so the classes this week are today and tomorrow, so there won't be any class on Wednesday and or Thursday this week. But feel free, if you want to come in and use the computer and stream your own classes, you can still stay with the your routine. That was tough. If you're with us online, thank you for being here today. If you haven't taken Build, don't worry too much about the format and the equipment. I'll go over everything you need today, the format, and everything you need to know. So today you need a mat and a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Okay, if you don't have those, that's okay. I'll show you the alterations you can do without that equipment. How the format of this class, we'll do a 6-minute warm-up, get you ready to go, then we'll go into the workout. And the workout for this class is we have 8 movements total. Okay, each movement we're going to do for 45 seconds. And then without any breaks, go into the second movement, the third movement, until we get through all 8 movements, and then you'll get a 1-minute rest period at the end. Okay, that's 1 round done, and we're going to do that 4 times in this class. We'll have a 10, 15-minute cool down at the end and send you on your way. So a little bit about the movements we're doing today. We'll practice these together, go over everything you need to know for those. If you don't know what bracing means, check out Optimize Your Movement on Workday Learn, because you'll need to know that content for classes, help prevent injury, and help you have a lot more progress with the work you're doing. So, first movement today we have is figure fours. We haven't done that in this class yet, this session. So, figure fours is a lot of balance and control. That's specifically what we're working here, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and get a stance leg, shift your leg onto one side, okay? One thing we want to pay attention to is we're not letting that hip pop out, okay? We want to make sure those hips are strong and engaged, and also we're not collapsing into the hip. So you can pop it out, or you can collapse into it without it going out. So go ahead and collapse that hip, feel what that feels like, and then support yourself on that. It's not a huge change, but you'll kind of feel that little bit of perception of, oh, I can feel my hip engaging and holding that separation. That's what we want in this movement, okay? If you collapse that hip, it's just the hip sitting into the socket. The joint is going to be holding a lot of that weight, and a lot of times your hips shift, and just a lot of not great stuff we don't want to have happen. So really pay attention to those hips. Score. One foot is just going to be bent. There's multiple levels to this movement. Feel free to do any of them. So the first part is just maintaining balance here as long as you can, keeping that control, okay? Next level is driving that knee up, trying to keep that, maintain that balance, that control, okay? We're gonna have that slight bend in this knee, and you'll feel that hip kind of take on that weight. Don't let it pop out. And the next movement is you can bring into a figure 4 here, okay? And then the last one is you can come down into a squat, and then you can come out, and you can either keep repeating the squat in this movement, or you can do a squat, stand up, reverse, drop the foot, bring it back in. So let's try a couple of those, okay? Keep those hips square. Any one of those ones, you can either just do the knee lift, you can do the knee lift and the cross, okay? You can do the knee lift and the cross, and then that squat. Really think of pushing those hips back in that squat. Weight stays even on the feet. Our glute is still activated, okay? We're not disengaging that glute, and we're keeping that natural curve of our low back in that movement. Again, really stay braced, pay attention. It's okay if you wiggle and fall over. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to challenge that proprioception, trying to challenge that balance, okay? And if we're not struggling, we're not challenging it. If you're really good at stability work, you're really good at balance, you can throw an arm out, or you can swing from side to side, or you can hold a weight. You can do a bunch of different stuff to kind of challenge that, or you can close your eyes. Okay. If you're finding it's really easy to maintain that balance, that control, close the eyes and try to do that move. It's going to make it wicked hard. So we're going to be on that one leg for 45 seconds, okay? Take breaks as you need. Again, you can stand up out of it as often as you need. The biggest thing we don't want that breakdown in form. We don't want that hip popping out, okay? We don't want that hip collapsing. We want to be in active control of that movement. Next movement, same thing, just the opposite side. So we got those 2 in a row. Yes? Yes. Good thing. When we're going into that squat, same thing as always. Weight's going to be even on that foot, left to right, front to back, okay? And also that knee is going to stay in line with that toe. We also want to keep those shoulder blades back and down. We're in that brace controlled position, all those things. Great question. The next movement we're going to go, or the third movement we're going to go into is going to be stance jacks. So remember in stance jacks, feet start together. When you jump them out to the side, you're pushing that hip back and down, keeping that natural curve in that low back, and reaching over either to the knee, the shin, or you can twist and go to that ankle if you want. But make sure you're keeping that control. And if you're twisting, you're not twisting the hips, okay? You're just twisting the shoulders and coming over and tapping. And then back to center, opposite side, back to center, opposite side. If you want to minimize the impact, you can stay just wide, and you can be here from side to side, okay? That's another option for that movement. Next movement we're going into is single leg Romanian deadlift. So this is where that weight is optional. So kind of the same thing as the first one. We're working on a lot of that balance and control. We have our plant leg, slight bend in the knee, okay? That hip's not popping out. The hip is actively holding it in place, or the muscles are holding the hip in place. And what we're doing, we're kicking that back leg out, dropping that chest, and keeping those hips square. We don't want to rotate open, okay? We want to keep that opposite hip low and controlled in that balance. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. That glute should be active, and you're going to pull back through, squeeze that glute at the top, okay? Again, if you need to tap down, that's okay. Biggest things, we want to stay braced, we want to stay squared, and we want to stay in control of that movement, and we don't want to let that glute shut off or that hip pop out. All the same things as the figure fours here. If you want the weight, if you just want to do some, you have a couple options for weight, okay? You can either do single arm, and if your plant leg is your left leg, you're going to hold the weight in your right arm. Don't let that shoulder drop, keep it back and down. And if you want to do two weights or a single weight with both hands, you can hold it here or here, okay? Up to you for that movement. Feel free to switch up each round if you want. Next move is the same exact thing, but the opposite side, okay? Really be intentional about that hip. And then we're going to go into upright mountain climbers. So for those, remember, we're here, and you're transitioning, jumping over here. So you can do quick jumps, or as you get tired, you can also just do alternating, marching mountain climbers, okay? If your right arm goes up, your left knee goes up. You're alternating, okay? The next movement we have is going to be plank taps. You have two options for plank taps, okay? You can either be down here, and you can tap on your shoulders, or you can come up, tap on the knees, okay? If taps get hard, of course, you can always drop down into that modified plank position and hold that. Biggest thing here is when you're on your knees, try to pull your feet back if you can. It lets the weight rest on the muscles of your quads and not actually on your kneecap. So if you ever find that really uncomfortable, try it. If you pull them up but not far enough, it's going to go directly onto the kneecap. So bring them back as close to the glutes as you can. And then last movement, we're bringing back those dead bugs. So remember this one. Let's all do this one so we can feel the difference here. We're on our back. I'll wait for you. So you'll feel that little gap between your low back and the floor. Bring those knees up to 90, those arms up into the front, and then press that low back into the floor, okay? We don't want that separation on the low back and the floor. You're controlling it, you're holding it there, and then you're alternating. If your left leg goes down, your right arm goes down, they both come back to center, okay? You can always do an open, close, or you can just do an arm, or you can just do a leg. There's a couple of different options that you have for that movement. So depending on where you're at, feel free to do any of those. Any questions? We have a few different new movements today. So take them slow, learn them, don't push yourself right away. Take some time to feel it out. Everybody feel okay with these? All right, let's do it. Starting with those jumping jacks. Pull that core in. Stay braced, stay strong. Remember, you can modify for that impact, and you can be here. We're just warming up. We're only about 40%. We're not overly pushing it. We're just getting that heart rate up, getting those joints ready, getting the muscles going. Air squats. Remember in here, pushing those hips back and down, knees in line with the toes. Weight even on that foot. Nice job. Don't let those knees collapse. Keep those glutes active from the top all the way down. If you feel those glutes shut off, stop wherever that point is. If I can feel my glutes engaged and I don't feel them anymore here, don't go any further, just go back up. Working on increasing that depth you can get within that squat. Marches. Drive that knee up. Utilize that core to drive the knee. Pay attention to that torso. We don't want a lot of side-to-side movement. We want to stay controlled, balanced as we drive those knees up. Remember, brace, pelvic floor up and in. That core is engaged, those shoulder blades are back and down. Lunges, alternating. Weight even on that foot. As you step back into that lunge, knee in line with that toe. Nice job. Don't let those heels come up. Really pay attention to the heel. That's usually the one that's gonna come up. We like to put our weight more into our toe. And if you're struggling with that, try stepping backwards versus forward. It helps us shift that weight a little bit more into that heel. Arm circles. Full range of motion. Remember for this one, we don't want to have a lot of body twists. Keep that body squared. Really work on that shoulder range of motion. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. Remember, bend the knees, don't round the low back to get into that position. You're gonna walk out into that plank. Full push-up. Remember, it's a warm-up. You can do knee push-ups, you can do lay-down push-ups, you can do regular. We're just warming up those muscles, okay? Elbows at the 45, not flaring out. Hands under the chest for that push-up. Shoulder blades locked in, pulled down. Nice job. Jumping jacks. Round 2, picking up the tempo a little bit. Air squats. Send those hips back and down. Keep those glutes on. Marches. Drive those knees up. You're at home and you have a mirror or a window. Watch your movements in it. Remember, use that core. Pelvic floor up and in, that core is strong. The shoulder blades are back and down. Lunges. That glute's gonna stay engaged. Stay braced. Don't let that torso collapse. Stay braced. You can also add that twist, remember. You can twist towards the knee that's in front, and then back center. Make it slow and controlled. Arm circles. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. Bend the knees, don't round the back. Shoulder blades back and down, supporting that weight. Take a break. 1 minute. And we're starting that workout. Remember, feel free to take them slow. We got 4 rounds here. First round is kind of like that last warm-up round. Maybe 90%. Pay attention to your movements. See if each side is different. 30 seconds and we're working. If you want added difficulty, stand on the mat. If you want less difficulty, you can stand on the floor. Oh yeah, get rid of that thing. The mat's a little bit squishy, so your weight shifting control is a little bit more challenged. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Whichever leg you start with, next round you're gonna start with the opposite. Keep those hips square, try not to hike that hip as you bring that knee up or that foot across, okay? When you have that foot across, we don't want the knee here, we want it here. So try to push it back into that position as you go to sit back and down. Pay attention to that hip, actively hold that hip, and sit that hip, those hips, those glutes back and down, like sitting back into that low chair. Remember, hip hinge first, not just that knee bend. Nice job. Keep that glute active. That glute should still be active. Switch, opposite side. Nice job. Remember, you got 4 rounds to learn this movement. Weight even on the feet. Knees open. Hips go back and down. It's all right if you lose control and balance. That's what we're trying to do here. We're challenging our ability to stay balanced, stay controlled through this full movement. Nice job. Pay attention, is that hip popping out? We don't want to move quick to try to get away from falling over. Think slow, controlled, balanced, strong movements. Nice job. We're braced, pelvic floor up and in, core strong, shoulder blades back and down. Switch, we're into those stance jacks. So remember in here, together, out and cross. Stay braced, keep those hips square. Nice job. Stay braced, don't lose that bracing. Don't remember, this is the last warm-up. Single leg RDLs. Start with the same leg you started with on figure 4s. You started left, you're staying with the left. Really keep those hips squared. Don't let that hip hike up. Nice job. Pay attention in the mirror. If you're twisting, if you're dropping, if you're rotating, that's okay if you are. We're trying to limit as much of that as possible. Stay with it. Switch, opposite side. Switching up to opposite leg. Nice job. Weight's still gonna stay even on that front leg. Slight bend in that knee. Load that glute. You don't have to go to the extreme of the movement. You can just do a bit of movement and back under control. Nice. Don't round that low back. Switch into those mountain climbers. You can be upright, remember right here. Or you can be here to minimize that impact. Stay braced, stay strong though. Nice job, stay braced. Plank taps. Down on the floor, either tapping those shoulders or hip hinging, tapping those knees. Shoulder blades back and down. Good job. Dead bug. We're flipping over and we're down. Low back, press into the floor. Legs up. Alternating. Don't let that low back separate from the ground. Pelvic floor up and in. We're braced, we're controlled. Take a break. Woo! Round one done. You know those movements. Feel free to adjust that weight. Remember, self-analyze. If you're broken right now, pull it back a little bit. We got 3 rounds. 3 to go. 30 seconds. And we're starting with this figure fours. This round, we're starting with the opposite leg you started with last time. So if you started with your left leg, that's fair. If you don't remember, just pick one and hopefully remember the next round. But start with that opposite leg, okay? We're starting in 5, 3, 2, 1. Whenever that leg goes, remember, pay attention to that hip. Don't let that hip pop out to the side. You're gonna have a slight bend in that stance leg. That knee's gonna be slightly bent. Keep that glute active. Think control. We're not moving quick. We want control. That's what we're working on here. We're braced, pelvic floor is up and in, that core is strong, the shoulder blades are gonna stay back and down. Switch over to that opposite side. Remember to open that knee. Try to keep those hips squared. Don't let that hip pop out. Stay braced, controlled. Ah, go down. Switch into those stance jacks. Moving quick here. Keep those hips squared. You can twist the upper body. Don't twist those hips though. Hips go back. Keep that natural curve in that low back. Soft in the knees. Nice. You're not overly going out with the legs. You're just going almost a little bit wide of a squared stance. Pushing that hip back. Feel that stretch in those hamstrings, those glutes. Single leg RDL. Starting again with that first leg you chose. Weight or no weight, either is fine here. Think of your foot gripping the ground. And grow tree roots from your foot. Hold onto the ground. Keep that hip square. Switch opposite side onto that left leg. Good job. Remember, you can always use that mirror. Watch that movement. Pay attention to those hips, that control. Where's that knee? We're not looking to move fast, just controlled. Switch, mountain climbers. We're into those uprights. Pelvic floor up and in, that core is strong. Shoulder blades back and down. Switch, plank taps. Woo. Either the shoulders or those hips up, tapping those knees. Change it up how you need it. Nice, stay with it, stay with it. Dead bugs. Switching over. Low back pressed into the floor here. Maintain that control by keeping that low back in contact with the floor. Take a break. Woo, Nelly. Nice work. Remember, move through that recovery, get a little bit of movement, get a drink, switch up that weight. Right, in 5. We're moving to round 3. Going back to the first leg you started with. So we're just alternating each round which leg you're starting with. 3, 2, 1. We're in it. Stay braced, don't lose that engagement, that core. Sit those hips back, really pushing those glutes back in that single leg squat. You'll feel that stretch in the opposite hip. Don't let that hip pop out. Keep that glute engaged. Switch. Opposite side. Nice. Remember, as you get tired, you can also just hold either one of these positions. You can be here. You don't have to do the squat. Or you can hold this position. It's up to you. What do you want? What do you need right now? Shoulder blades back and down. That chest stays up. We're braced. We're strong here. Stance jacks. Shake those legs out. Keep those glutes, hamstrings engaged. Remember, you can be here. Keep those glutes turned on. Feel that active stretch while they're engaged. Single leg, Romanian deadlift. Same starting leg here. Stay braced. Nice job. If you're at home, if you're holding on with one hand, your left leg is your plant leg, your right hand is holding that weight. Don't let that shoulder drop. Shoulder blade back and down. Keep that glute engaged. Switch, opposite side. Doesn't matter how many reps you get, make them good, make them strong, make them controlled. Don't let that hip pop out. Shoulder blades back and down, those hips are squared, those shoulders are squared. Nice job. When you're watching yourself in the mirror here, watch these 2 points. Do they look even, or is it going like this? Drop it down, keep it squared. Keep that bend in that plant leg. Mountain climbers. We're upright. Remember, you can be quick or you can be here. What do you need right now? Pelvic floor is up and in, core is strong. Shoulder blades back and down. Stay with it. Yay, plank taps. Woo. Pelvic floor up and in. Core is engaged. Shoulder blades backing down. Nice job. Dead bug. Last one, y'all. Low back press into the floor. Pelvic floor up and in. Core engaged. Don't relax that low back off the floor. Remember, you can just do an arm and then just do a leg. It's up to you. Take a break. Whew. Round 3, finished. Last round left, y'all. You know what? It's our last round. So you know what that means? It's our best round, right? Last round, best round. I like it. We're ready. We're motivated. We're champions here. Remember, move through that recovery. Get a little bit of movement. If you need to stretch out a little bit, get what you need. 15 seconds, and we're doing this last round. And it's gonna be good. In 10 seconds, going back to the opposite leg to start with, whatever that second leg was. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. As you get tired, your hip will want to pop out. Be sure to keep it in, be sure to stay braced in that movement. Remember, you can always stay here. Just slight bend. You don't have to do the squats. You can stay here. You can come, woo! You can stay within that small squat. Weight even on those feet. Hips backing down. Switch! Over to the opposite side. Maybe those hips just like exhausted. Yeah. Weight even. So remember, if you feel like you're doing really well, close those eyes. Try to maintain that control. Makes it a lot harder to keep that correction, that balance. Keep that glute on. We're not letting that glute shut off. Switch, stance jacks. Woo. Remember, pelvic floor up and in, that core is engaged. Those glutes are staying on. Slight bend in those knees. Use those glutes to get back up. Single leg RDLs. Don't let that hip pop out. Don't let that hip rotate. Keep that glute on. Shoulder blades stay back and down. Try to make that movement as slow as possible. Don't put all the weight into the front of your foot. The front of your foot and your calf's hard. Shift into the heels a little bit. Switch. Opposite side. Remember, weight even on the feet. Keep that glute strong. Feel like your glute's not turning on, you might have the weight on the front of that toe. Oh. Upright mountain climbers. 3 movements left, let's go. Stay braced. Let's go. Plank taps. Woo. We're braced. Shoulder blades back and down. Pelvic floor up and in. Core strong. Dead bugs. Last movement, y'all. Low back press into the floor. Don't lose that pelvic floor, that bracing. We're up and in. Low back into the ground. You can tend to lose it at the bottom, but keep it there. Take a break. Woo! We did it, y'all. Who knew a little bit of balance work and core work could be so tough? Nice job. Nice job, Ken. My peeps at home. Nice work. You killed it. Nice job today. Way to work. Yeah, right? Nice job, you too. Nice work. As you're cleaning up your space, if you find any black streaks or marks, let's help out facilities, we'll wipe those up as you're cleaning up your space. Starting to slow that breathing down. Breathing in through the nose. Remember, through the nose, breathe into the belly. Not into the shoulders, not into the traps. Those deep belly breaths. exhale through the mouth. And once you're ready, starting with deep breaths. Remember, on the exhale, find that hamstring stretch on the way down. On that next exhale, pull that arm across, keeping that shoulder blade back and down. We're stretching that rear delt, not the back. Through all these stretches, keeping just a slight brace position, up and in, core engaged, shoulder blades stay back and down. Stretching a little further on those exhales. Actively work to try to increase that flexibility. Go and release and switch. Arm back behind, grab that elbow. Hand of the opposite hand goes in between those shoulder blades. A good alternative, if this is a hard stretch, is find an area of a countertop, put the elbows on them, drop that chest down, and bring those hands back towards the shoulders. And switch. Again, especially when you're really tired, try not to let one of those hips pop out. Hold that position. Go and release. Bring those hands down to the side. We're going to press. Keeping those shoulder blades back and down. We're going to press those wrists out. Hyperextend those elbows. We're trying to stretch that bicep. So here you can rotate, hands back, forward. Find where you feel that best stretch through those forearms, through those biceps. Go and release, drop them down behind, interlock those fingers, shoulder blades back and down for the head and neck stretch. Remember to breathe. When you find a spot that's really tight, feel free to stay there and breathe through it. On that release, go and inhale up and in. Widen that stance a little bit. Push those hips back, coming down into that full deep squat. As you get to the bottom, you can bring those feet, you can walk them a little bit closer if you need. Get them wherever you need them to be. Working on getting those heels down onto the floor. If those heels aren't down, that's okay. Put a little bit of weight on your hands, lean forward, and slowly work your way to be able to get deeper into that stretch. It's good to do one deep squat every day. Make sure you can keep that mobility. If you want more of that inner thigh stretch, elbows to the inside of the knees, palms together. Remember, the shoulder blades are back and down. We're not collapsing that chest here. And press palms in. You might need to move around a little bit, open up those hips. Listen to your body. What do you need? And you know what's fantastic? Well, at least in Pullman, Washington, it's still sunny, y'all. The sun is still out. So great. Whenever you're ready, we're going to drop it down onto all fours, hands, knees, and feet. We're going to go into that puppy pose. So hips stay above those knees, extending those arms out in front. Dropping that chest. So that position I said was a good tricep stretch earlier, is you could use a countertop to get into this position, but bring those hands back. You can also do the same stretch in the puppy pose. And breathe. When you're ready, we're going to bring it back up. Those all fours, coming up into a plank, stepping that left foot forward. You can drop that back knee if you want, totally up to you. Okay, and we're going to lift. We're going to press those hips down into the floor. You can also stay here. You don't have to add that lift, or you can stay here. What do you most need? If you want more of that hip adductor stretch back here, if you want to add in of that abdominal stretch, lift here and breathe. You can also be here for a little bit and then bring it back to here. Listen to what your body needs from you. Foot is flat on that front leg. It's extended out in front of you. And ready, go and release, bring it back down. I'm going to step that leg back, bring that opposite foot up and under. Again, you can drop that back knee if you want. You can stay low, you can go middle, or you can lift. Here we're going to press ourselves back up. We're going to walk over to the middle, find an open stance, and work our way over to the side. Try not to overly round that low back. Keep it as flat as you can, extending over. If you're going to go all the way down, try to keep that foot flat. We don't want to be up on that toe here. Feeling that stretch, that inner thigh here. Remember, hip back and down, not knee forward. Feel free to walk it over to the opposite side. And breathe. Like through here? Oh, yeah. You can use your hands, take a little weight, shift it onto the hands a little bit more. We're going to bring it back up to center. Okay, work your way back in between. And we're going to bring that chest down as far as you can. If you want, you can grab the ground, pull yourself a little bit further into that stretch. Remember to breathe. If you're holding your breath, you're telling your body this isn't a safe or okay position. When you're ready, you're going to go ahead and bring it down to the floor. Legs coming out in front. Do a little bit of some hip stretching here. Done this one a few. Feel free to bring first leg back. That knee is going to come out in front. Okay. Bring that opposite foot, ankle over the top of that other leg. Trying to keep both hips on the floor. You notice you shift all the way up onto one. Try to bring it back and both in contact. If you can't get your leg over that knee, that's okay. Or if when you do it, that hip comes off, just relax a little bit. Start here and pull that low back in and drop that chest forward into this position. What was that? Yeah, you can do that. And then you can drop it forward as you, that'll help increase that. Yeah. Try to keep that low back pulled in as much as possible. And if you want more stretch, you can drop that chest. Staying up and tall in that position. Find yourself clenching, really keeping those muscles tight. Breathe in, breathe out that tension. Let it relax. When you're ready, go and slowly take your time getting out. So you try to move too quick, you can get cramps in that position you're in, so move slow. Extend those legs out. Bring that opposite foot in and under. Keep your weight even on those hips, that's okay. We're just working on leaning it over, getting as close as possible. It's a great position if you like to read. Just sit at home, you know, pull the legs over, read your book, sit on your phone. Or if you got a controller, either one. When you're ready, slowly release, unwrap those legs, take your time. Then we're gonna come up to standing. We're gonna close out class here. If you wanna stay and continue to stretch, or if you're at home, feel free. Stretches aren't exhaustive. We're gonna close down class. Last 3 breaths. Remember to inhale into the belly. These last breaths are kind of like a thank you to yourself. The fact that we're able to be here, we're able to do this. And release. Nice work today, everybody. Nice job. If you're with us online, don't forget to like and subscribe if you just want updates of right when class goes live. If you want specific email invitations to class on your calendar, go and register on sclwellbeingcenter.com. And as an update, the next class is tomorrow. Okay, remember, I'll be out of town the end of this week, so we won't have class on Thursday. And so we'll see you here tomorrow. Don't forget homework, dinner, water, 6 hours of sleep. See you tomorrow.